Hi there. Welcome. Come on in. Get yourself nice and comfortable. How are you today? Great. All ready to have your photograph taken with lots of different cameras. Fantastic. Well, while you get yourself all comfortable and accustomed to the studio, I thought I'd show you quickly just the cameras that we're going to be using today. They're from the 1930s right up to the 1970s, plus a few from my trusty modern camera, which will build into a wonderful portfolio of how you would appear on film throughout the years, and it will look amazing at the exhibition. Any questions at all? Okay, great. Let me put this one down. So, here's what we're going to be using. Starting with the 1930s, late 30s and into the 40s. This is a Kodak box brownie. Very, very popular camera. Have you ever had your photo taken with a camera that old before? And then into the 1950s, a lovely folding camera which takes amazing photographs. After that, into the 1960s with one of these. Starting to look a little more familiar at that point. Towards the end, from the 1970s, a good old-fashioned Polaroid picture. From the 1980s, one of my favourites, the Zenit camera. Lots and lots of people remember having one of these. A very good camera indeed. And then finally at the end, I know it's not technically a photograph, but a video camera from the 1970s. This film is hard to come by, so I thought, while I had it here, we might just take a few shots on the video camera as well. How does that sound? Are you ready to get going? Fantastic. All ready to throw some poses, give me some smiles. Great. So I'm just going to start with my usual camera, and all you have to do is be yourself. I'm just going to take some establishing shots, check that the lights are okay around you, everything like that, okay? Fantastic. So just as you are to start. Ready? Okay. Looking fantastic. Turn to the left a little for me, please. That's great. And then over to the right for me. Fantastic. That's great. Great big smile for me, please. That's great. Just moving over this way. You can stay put. And over this way. You're fine where you are. That's great. Look all thoughtful for me, as if something has occurred to you that requires your immediate attention. Fantastic. A very serious face for me. Great. something with your arms. Great. And looking straight ahead for me. Great. Just one or two from above. Yeah. Fantastic. Freestyle. Any pose that you like. Fantastic. And then straight on for me. Great. Just a couple more. Big smile once again. Look of surprise. Great. And then again, just normal, relaxed face for me. That's great. Thank you very much. Pop this one down. How was that? Was that all okay? You nice and comfortable? Happy with how you're turning? Happy with the lighting? Yep, looks really good on the camera. For the rest of these, however, we just have to hope, because we have to wait for film to be developed old school. So, what I'd like to do this time is just arrange of poses again. We'll be staying still in terms of the body, might be moving the head, certainly moving the face around a bit. Is that okay? Fantastic. So we'll start with the box brownie. Funny to think that at one time this is what all the cameras looked like, pretty much. But there we go. So some authentic late 30s, early 1940s photos of you. Okay, so just looking here as you would at any other camera for me. Marvellous. So, to begin with, a big smile, please. Yep, that's fantastic. Great. And again, that nice, relaxed face for me. That's great. Does it feel different looking into this? Okay. And again, looking over to the left for me. Thank you very much. And again, over to the right for me, please. That's great. The final photograph with this one, just a nice big smile again, please. That's wonderful. Thank you very much. You can relax the face for a moment, move about if you want to. And then we'll come on to what is perhaps my favourite camera in terms of looks. So that's this one. This is a folding camera. I will show you how it folds at the end. But it begins by folding out, if you can see that. It's a rather lovely piece of artwork in its own right. So some photos of how you would have looked in the 1950s. Same again, are you ready? Marvellous. So, to begin with, big smile for me. That's great. Thank you very much. Next, as with the others, if you could just look straight ahead and relax that face for me, please, that would be fantastic. So nice, relaxed look on the face for me. That's great. Just make some quick alterations there. Right, just 1 second. That's better. So, looking over to the left for me, please. That's great. And over to the right for me, please. Fantastic. And one more time with this one. A big smile for me, please. Fantastic. It's infectious. It's hard not to smile yourself. So with this camera, when you're all done, you simply fold it away. Watch it want to fold now. There it goes. And just like that, it's nice and safe, so it won't get damaged. This is how it looks now. Nice and safely put away, ready to develop those lovely 1950s photos. Take a moment to move around again. We'll take a look where we're going next. I like this one. I'm going to say that about all of them, I think. So, a little battered and bruised, but Japanese camera from the 1960s. Into more of what we know as a camera today. It's not quite the same. Not quite the same as my usual camera, but it is still quite lovely. So, once again for me, looking ahead with a smile. Fantastic. And then a nice relaxed face for me. Fantastic. Looking over to the left for me. That's great. When you're ready, over to the right. Thank you. And finally, back to centre. Nice, lovely smile for me. Just one more of those to make double sure, please. Wonderful. And again, we'll get that film developed. So, when will you be coming to the exhibition? Do you think it's going to be fun seeing yourself through the ages? Do you think it's going to feel a little bit weird seeing lots of other people looking at pictures of you? Or is that something you're looking forward to? I think it's very exciting. So the next, and my favourite camera, this one is a Soviet 35mm. It's a Zenit camera. It does make some rather lovely sounds and it takes fabulous pictures. So, ready again? Great. Smile for me. Fantastic. I want to adjust that slightly. Looking straight ahead for me. Smile again for me. That's great. Straight face. I was trying to remember the order then. Nice relaxed face for me. Fantastic. Looking over to the left for me, please. And another on the left, please. That's great. Looking over to the right, please. And another, please. Back to centre. And another. Fantastic. Another smile, please. Try that again. Apologies. Thank you. One more. One last one. Thank you. Almost back up to the modern day. What I'd like to do before we take the Polaroid, and it's very much like a modern day Polaroid, is I would just like to use the video camera, if that's okay. Thank you. Oh, this one is also from the 1970s. It's a Bell and Howell. And as I say, the film is difficult to get hold of. And so I'd like to take advantage and have some film running alongside those pictures. Is that okay? So what I'd like you to do is, to begin with, do all the same poses that we would have been doing for the camera, on the video camera, and then just some movements. Is that alright? Great. Okay. We'll line you up. Let me check. We've got everything. Coming from this side, actually. Wonderful. So, are you ready? Okay, here we go. And rolling. Marvellous. So, if you could please give me a smile. Fantastic. A nice, relaxed face. Thank you. Looking to the left. Over to the right. Another big smile. A wave. And then model's own choice. Whatever you'd like to do. Some hand movements, some body motions and head movements, please. That's great. Anything else? Marvellous. Thank you very much. Switch this back off. Fantastic. So once again, there's the film in there. We'll take a look at that. I've the equipment for that. And then we'll have that at the exhibition alongside the photographs. So, I'm tempted to just do a couple more with my camera, if that's okay. I think I'd like to capture the waves and the movements that you just did for the video camera. Is that okay? Great. And then we'll finish up with a fab Polaroid. So, when you're ready, a little slower if you could this time, but some similar movements that you did for the video camera. Okay, great. Tap that wave again for me. Fantastic. Wonderful. Great. A few more, please. And then, thinking through the decades, I'll give you a moment to think about this. I'd like your best pose from those decades, please. So, late 1930s into 1940s, your best 1940s pose. Fantastic. Moving on now into the 1950s. Anything you associate with the 50s? Hold that there for me. Extreme close up. Into the 1960s, a little easier now. Some poses from the 1960s. Fantastic. The 1970s. Is this going to be dance moves? Some poses associated with the 1970s. That's great. Couple more. One decade further, into the 1980s. And then your favourite pose from today. Fantastic. Pop this down again. So which was your favourite camera? I think they're all rather fantastic, and you're going to look very different in each set of photographs. I think what I'd like to do is, once they're all developed, is ask you back in and you can choose your favourites and they can go into the exhibition. How does that sound? Wonderful. Well, all that leaves then is a Polaroid picture. I think they still do Polaroids today, but they are much, much smaller than this one. But the result is exactly the same. So what I'll do is I'll get this all sorted. Perfect. And you can take a look at this one right now. Okay? Yep, we'll just have the one of these, and this will go at the very end of the exhibition. We'll take one, and then we'll have a go at a Polaroid selfie. What do you think? Fantastic. Okay, are you ready? Okay, here we go.